To you, after fears of a horror budget designed to bring the country back to surplus within 2 years, some are this morning describing the final product as tough, while others say it's a little underwhelming. It focuses on pushing the long-term unemployed into the workforce to take advantage of the resources boom. Finance editor Ross Greenwood joins us now for a breakdown of last night's budget. Morning again to you, Ross. Just take us through the big winners and the losers in the budget.
Well, Alisha, I guess you can find more losers than winners in this budget. The interesting point, I guess, is really that it's those people who are going to find themselves with family tax benefits frozen for the next couple of years. So families going to do it tougher, but it's relatively small, only really dollars in the week. The other point also is, of course, the very low paid are going to find themselves with an extra $6 a week. But then you go to the other side of it, and that is those people who potentially lose. Now, it's nothing direct that the federal government has done. They're saying they've deferred spending, particularly in defence and also some infrastructure, to try and, if you like, wait until money comes in the door from resources projects that would ultimately bring this budget back into the black. But of course, in the meantime, interest rates are going to be the real worry for many families, with the Australian dollar this morning up more than 1 cent since this budget's been delivered, and that's a telltale that the markets believe that interest rates will be higher, some anticipating 1% higher over the course of the next 12 months, and that's equivalent to around $3,000 a year on a typical $400,000 mortgage.
That is not what mortgage holders want to hear this morning. All right, Ross Greenwood in Canberra, thank you very much for that. The harrowing 000 call made by Jordan Rice just moments before he and his mother were swept to their deaths will be played today at the inquiry into the Queensland floods. The 13-year-old Toowoomba boy was recognised as a hero after he told a rescuer to save his younger brother Blake first. The inquiry is also expected to hear evidence today from the Department of Community Safety. Yesterday, the inquiry heard Ipswich firefighter Mark Stephenson had begged his bosses for more rescuers to be rostered on the morning of the floods. Police in South Australia are appealing for help to find a teenager who was dragged screaming into a car on Commercial Road in Port Adelaide early yesterday morning. There are grave fears for the unidentified girl, who's believed to be around 14 or 15 years of age.
It might be something like a domestic situation, or it may be an abduction. What we want to do is finalise and work out what the situation is.
Witnesses say the girl started screaming at the three men who pulled up alongside her in their car before they shoved her into the sedan. Well, he's caused deep divide in governments right across the world, but Julian Assange was last night awarded for his fight for human rights. The WikiLeaks founder was given a gold medal Peace Prize in London by members of the Sydney Peace Foundation.
The real value of this award and the Sydney Peace Foundation is that it makes explicit the link between peace and justice.
Mr Assange couldn't accept the award in Sydney as he's on strict bail conditions over sexual assault allegations. Queensland Premier Anna Bligh is just hours away from formally lodging the Gold Coast bid for the 2018 Commonwealth Games. The Premier arrived in Kuala Lumpur this morning for the official bid following 5 days of meetings in Malaysia. Sri Lanka is also competing for the Games and is expected to focus on its push for renewable energy. The final decision will be announced in November. Well, this may be the lucky country, but the strong Aussie dollar is causing it to become an expensive tourist destination. Britons are ditching the Down Under experience for cheaper places. Numbers fell by more than 61,000 in March compared to the same time last year. In the past year, almost 1.4 million more Australians have travelled overseas than foreigners have visited here. Let's go to the finance figures now. And in the US, at the close of trade, the Dow Jones is up 75 points. And the Aussie dollar is stronger against the major currencies. It is buying 108.4 US cents at the moment. All right, that is all news-wise. Let's get another hit of sport. Hey, Ben.